Welcome to Tutora TV, and ideally we just wanted to create a content bring you an opportunity to find out how to speak to the right people, and the right people is you now. And we're gonna speak to Dr. Sheehama, who is the chief of North Namibia, whereby the people who produce teachers mostly. There are some institutions, but this is the government institution that produce teachers. And earlier on news, you heard some teachers losing their lives because of financial matter. The young people are flocking, traveling around and so on to search for interview. But what really matter? What really should be done? And you see Sean and see welcome to Tutora TV. Thank you. TV, the Tutora TV is a content and the TV that show content on the reality, what the matter that facing our people. And today we are lucky that we have our guest, the honor is Dr. Sheehama. Welcome, Doc.
Thank you very much, Tutora TV.
Okay, so we have a number of questions because we in the news around this week and last week, the number of news that most of the young boys, men are losing life. Why are employed? And why we also have a number of learners who are students who are done school and they are still going market while they are, but the matter is a financial. Maybe we can go.
Okay, thank you very much, Tutora TV. But the question is interesting, and it's at a very difficult time when we have sad news about a youthful boy child considered to be vulnerable to social issues. And this time, I trust you came here at Mwendiva, University of Namibia, Ifike campus, because we are also one of the centers who train majority of the teachers. The truth of the story is that we cannot say what is the original reason for for those incidences, but as an institution, we are also analyzing how should we better prepare teachers who are well mentored so that they do not only know the content of their subject, which they are going to teach in the schools, but also in terms of socially to be resilient and responsive to social matters so that they are not put under pressures by situations which can lead to such a bad and sorrowful situation. One of your questions says teachers who have been losing life are those ones who are employed, while there are those who are not yet employed. And looking at the situation is that we still have to understand that these young teachers have overcome the situation of unemployment. Now they are employed. Maybe the society is also putting a lot of pressure on them as they put a lot of bigger expectations on them, which drive them to engage in unplanned financial commitments and spendings. Sometimes you say it's irresponsiveness, but sometimes it's because of depression and anxiety due to the bigger push that is coming from different directions. Therefore, I think it's the time now for us in high institutions to make sure that our curriculum also talk more about the boy child, creating a social protective network around the boy child. We know the girl child has been receiving good attention in terms of protection, but gradually we have to reflect. We should balance that protection. And we know your questions relate to why they manage to overcome, because they are prepared to say when we train you, you have to know that you have to go into the market and prove yourself as the best to be employed. And when they are employed now, they become part of another enterprise to which they belong to. And maybe it's also to look into the school environment and the employment environment, so that that employment environment have supportive mechanism in place, which is called employee wellness, which should be available in school to gradually organize a different type of mentorship, professional mentorship and growth, and also social mentorship and growth, so that they see themselves growing professionally and socially in a structured and institutional manner, not chaotically. Yeah, I think that is my first question, my first answer to your question. If there is any follow-up, you're welcome again.
Look, because why I look at, because always more content I'm facing is on cultural matter. In cultural matter is meaning that a woman never said mushwamba kucho yatobo. Then you never stop breastfeeding, and that, because in the culturally, if a man, you're still a young one. So what really, and I think you also emphasized on the answer, but what really we should do in matter.
Okay. I say the boy child needs social protective network. Then we need to look after them collectively, not just thinking that they will find their own way. Yeah, but it's also to guide them, and they never consider them grown up enough always to make decisions on their own. We should also gradually always try to call them to order, so that they don't take on life on a very high speed, but rather to make baby steps in life and in commitment, so that they are stepping on a well-established and well-built foundation. At the same time, I think the culture you have mentioned was a resourceful school outside the normal curriculum, because when a child is growing up, always know that there is laws and rules at school, and there are laws and rules at home, which are making you to grow both socially or culturally. And while at school and the university, you are growing mostly professionally in terms of modern society. And that strengthens your acumen in terms of how you respond to different difficulties in life. It is easy to find a job. You have responded that you have got a job. You have responded. But how to manage being at the job and how to manage what the benefit you get from the job require the fertilization of both culture and the institutions where we are working. And for these young boys and some of the girls, is that we throw them in the deep sea of life with no mentors. And previously in life, as we grow up, we always have mentors in our own community and household and family, those we look upon, and we will aspire to be them because they were living a decent, full of integrity type of life. And when we were going to workplace, the same. There were those who were known and well-established teachers. You know by presence, by behavior, that's a teacher you want to be. But some of these things are missing in our schools because maybe the system has become too big and we have not also strengthened it, but we need to strengthen it so that the system, despite we throw these young men and women deep in the rural area or urban area, their accommodations issues, the traveling in terms of housing, transportation issues, they have responsibility in their own villages or towns where they are coming from so that they keep up with the growth and development of their families. And that put a lot of pressure. And that pressure sometimes drive them into practicing other things or committing to big financial debts, which are not really necessary sometimes, but we should manage them accordingly. But I think it's a wake-up call because it's a challenge that a nation we have to go through. Not only look at what is happening, but rather gradually introspect ourselves, not only as institution of high learning, but all members of society, and put mechanisms in place. How do we contribute to reverse such a pandemic among our young people so that from here we train them well, and we should add that extra curriculum content, just like we have a revised curriculum at the university here to train them into entrepreneurship so that they know that their profession, they can trade their profession to generate enough funds to support their life and make a business so that they don't suffer, so that the industry, they see them active and being demanded professionally and challenged intellectually so that they don't fall into the comfort zone.
That's true.
Yeah, and if we really do that, they gradually not see them that being appointed as a teacher, that is the end of the story. You can build a good experience, a good CV for yourself, which should catapult you into another practice or business in the same field, or even diverse from your education field to another one. You can also gradually learn how to say, now I'm working in the Republic of Namibia and I want to go and trade my profession elsewhere outside Namibia. And that can be in America, in Nigeria, in Australia, or in China. So that we now mentor them to become the professional ambassadors of our economy, of our culture in those countries, if they find business opportunities there and professional opportunities there.
Good. Thank you. The next question, and thank you for that, because that is where I see people put themselves in a cage. When you say teacher, just a teacher at the village, teacher where you are. Okay, the second question, which is, when I look, I did content with Tatekuru from Ondobe, Tatekuru Kembwa. He was, those are long teachers been. I also spoke to Tatekuru France Ndoloma. He has been in Ranjumut. And I also spoke to Amwindi Tatekuru Amwindi Wesharu. He has been in Ngela. And a number of people that I remember. Obviously Tatekuru Ngifikwa was inspector. By look, consider what they said. Long back in the previous administration, or let me say that government was there, instead of people come for interview, they place the teachers, they look at people. Why can't the system can work? For instance, if a person from Wediva An inspector look at, okay, I have a school, whatever, secondary school, I have a Siana and so on. And yeah.
Yeah, it's good to mention that previously there were a lot of open teaching posts
Okay.
that were not filled, and they were waiting for teachers in school. So I think that we have just to advocate as a country and as a communities to invest in more teaching positions. And knowing that we should create opportunity for our graduates. But let you know that we are no more only training this graduate for Namibia, we are training them for Namibia and the continent and even beyond. Yeah, that is the reality of the story, because we are in the open trade market or global market, and sometimes you get even application for teachers from other countries. Yeah, and for you to grow diversity and in the technological growth and social growth of your people, you need to have a diverse population of professionals who come and catalyze the development in that area. Because when somebody is from another region coming to work in a specific area, he comes with different type of culture. And that culture drive new development in the people he finds there. That's already good. That's why we are talking about one Namibia, one nation. Yeah, so that we can gradually have a stronger nation later. But the idea of making sure that the position that the growth of staff establishment within the teaching industry in Namibia should really be looked at seriously, so that we create more entry position for young teachers, so that they start early and they gradually do not have too much gap in building the wealth. Because the moment you keep them on the bench for too long, when they start working, they already have a lot to catch up with others. And that creates that situation. And we should always think, are we going to make sure that new graduate, maybe we say, okay, how do we absorb a lot of, maybe 50% of all the new graduates to 100% into entry position of even assistant teachers, so that you gradually, they compete now to leave that assistant teacher position by making sure that they are performing to the maximum, not only for them to leave that, but they will contribute also to the quality outcome of the current learners, so that those learners will qualify to go to different universities and take up different, more challenging professions like engineering, medicines, and ICT technology in Namibia and outside Namibia, so that they can be employed in those markets. But if we do not have good education services because of lack of positions or lack of teachers, the classrooms are overcrowded, you will just get the output which all now can only become for that profession. And gradually you are flooding the market. But for us, we cannot stop training because other countries have done so, have trained teachers even before us. They are still training teachers. And some of the teachers are coming even to Namibia to get employment. Who are we to stop? We should train our youth in all different industries, but we have to have rationale so that gradually they are employed here and outside Namibia. Yeah, it's better you have a trained person, and don't say you should put a moratorium of training, because you don't now start training when the need come. You should have already them trained, so that you are gradually. What you should do now is to style them. If you know they are too much teacher of this type, you now give them another course so that you restyle them to take up other challenges where there is a gap, because these are educated people with high institution mindset, and gradually are taught to be responsible. They can gradually be retransformed. into different type of professionals easily without not costing a lot of money. Like we're training somebody from scratch who never went to university. Those are some of the things we have to look at. And we should really not, for sure, the training institution have also grown too much. And we should also require to say at least training should be done by a reputable, accredited institution of national recognition. That should be the correct thing so that we avoid flooding the market with any person.
Wow. I think that that was a third question. Obviously, we were thought, why state training? Why there more people in the market? But that's
Yeah, I have given my answer, and I still give the same answer because at different forum you hear people say stop training teachers. I said I don't agree because Namibia is a very small population, but our classes teacher earner ratio, we need to also look it correctly in terms of our demand so that we gradually appoint more teachers, repurpose more schools in rural area, and those schools can employ a good number of teachers, both full teacher position, and we can gradually establish the assistant teacher positions. And I think that can be supported with the current policy by government of internship, so that most of the graduates go through internship and gradually have no choice or time to waste being involved in wrong things before getting employed. Because even if you allow them to get involved in wrong things while they are looking for a job, when they are getting employed, they will still be stick to those wrong things. And gradually, they will now convert the benefit of employment into even more wrong things. But if you take them quickly, assistant teachers, intern first, then assistant teachers, then gradually after 2 years or 3 years, qualify again to be full-time teachers because they have experience and they can handle their own subject with no supervision.
it's true.
Yeah, I think that is an indaba that we have to put to discussion. But for us, I think the capacity of training, we are not even putting it to maximum use, especially at the University of Namibia, but we are ready to train qualified teachers that can serve anywhere in the world and in any corner of the country. That's why we said we are ready to train. We just have to see how we promote investment in education, not only by government, also by mining industry, fishing industry. They should invest in building fully fledged primary school with hostel in different community. Yeah, each and every you should see a mining company should commit an amount of money of a fully fledged secondary school in a community, so that we have more vision school mostly around the country, the type of Rukonga vision school. And it's not only the responsibility of government. It should be also industry. They should be mandated to do so. Because we have many mining companies, but what type of school do they hold? Do they fund?
Yeah, because I look at a number of the people who are making significant impact in the development in Namibia. But when you look at Oranjemund, they produce more people. They produce more people who are capable and doing things. And if that can be happen, it will be good. The last question, Dr. Sheehama, on my content normally, you hold a big institution, not by the name of UNAM as a university, but a historical place in the northern Namibia. And the place whereby the most of the teachers' education started here. And someone wanted to know who's Dr. Sheehama in Lesotho.
Oh, I did not expect a question. I'm simply Jacob Sheehama.
Yeah.
So a director of Ifike Pohamba and Oshakati campuses of the University of Namibia. I call myself just a village boy.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's a village boy who also went through training. And we are thankful of the peoples of the Republic of Namibia who have invested in according us free education from independence. I call it so, through government schools. And they were given equal opportunity to study both locally and internationally, where we have acquired both local and international experience. And that is what mostly we are using to guide where we can our institutions, so that this type of institutions with historical background, as I've mentioned, become resourceful for the country, not only for the University of Namibia, but for the country and the industry we are serving. And for sure, let me say this place started also as a secondary school and a health center by the Finnish missionaries who came here in Ongwediva, and they were on the bank of the Elsin Church for the purpose of education and the health services, which were hosted in Thatcher building, and that was 1913. Then gradually this secondary school became a boys' secondary school first here in Ongwediva, while the girls' secondary school was in Okahao, Kaumbo. Yeah, so you know our current president, if I look into history, she was also a student at the Okahao, for that matter. While our former president, Nangolo Mbumba, was a student also here. Yeah, so for secondary education.
So similar, maybe same years?
That one I cannot confirm, but it's just according to history. And there are many others. The Kalumbi Shangulas were also here as at the Songwendiva Secondary School. So it's a historical place, and we are also trying to preserve it, to keep trading in education, while we are trying by all means to bring in more training services around it. But we have to cherish it, and we have to sell it as such. That's why the University of Namibia gradually is also looking how to make sure that it preserve it as a heritage site of recognition, providing a reputable education with our international partners. And we are looking forward that this brand will never perish. And now for sure is renamed after our second president, Dr. Ifike Pohamba. And we are making sure that the history is linked along for now and in the future. Yeah.
Any last word?
Yeah, I just have to thank Tutwala for your effort, because it's from grassroots level when you look at your TV, starting from scratch, self-driven, and you are really a go-getter. And despite the small steps, we trust that gradually Tutwala will become a very big media holding company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Yeah.